Hello and welcome to Profiles in Risk. This is your host, Tony Cañas. And today I have a very special episode for you. Today I have with me Aaron Ammar, the Chief Insurance Officer at Roamly. And during the pre-recording brief conversation, I realized that Aaron is a really unique character. He is the first Insurtech entrepreneur that I have run into. If there's others, I definitely want to meet you. That already had one exit with as a founder of Y Risk, and is now in his second round with an Insurtech. So the second time Insurtech founder. Aaron, very nice to meet you. Thank you for coming on the show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing excellent, Tony. I really appreciate you having me today. It is great to meet you. I really love the podcast, everything you're doing here. So I was actually looking forward to today's chat.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And you are physically in Houston.
Yes, physically in Houston. Actually,
okay.
Roamly is headquartered out of Austin, Texas. But you know what? We've got a little bit of a distributed workforce, so it's a great team, great all around effort.
I'm glad to hear that you have a distributed workforce, because Austin is a hard area to find insurance talent in. Great for tech talent, but hard for insurance talent. We're recording on June the 2nd. I'm assuming that Houston is like 115 degrees by now.
Basically, you're pretty close. You know, we're in the summer swing of things, and hot and humid, but overall enjoyable.
Okay, awesome. So we always give the guest a chance to give the elevator pitch. So what is Roamly?
Roamly, the way we look at Roamly is really it's the first RV focused Insurtech in the entire world. Really, kind of also focused on the enthusiast market. Kind of think the entire outdoors as a whole. So Roamly here, we provide, it's an embedded offering right now where we provide RV insurance policies on an episodic basis. So we'll provide it during the rental period. And then we'll also provide annual policies as well. And then we also have other products within our product suite. So whether or not that's trip cancellation, interior damage, pet insurance, really kind of a variety of offerings on the product suite. We're operating across the entire United States as a whole, have some offerings in Canada, and then just really, I'd say kind of call it the next next quarter, we'll be launching overseas in the European Union as well. So really kind of growing it and scaling it, focused on the RV market as a whole right now as we speak, but continuing to broaden that out into kind of the broader sharing economy as well.
Okay. So I'm assuming that given the quick rollout to 50 states, you're an MGA legally.
That is correct.
Okay.
So we're set up actually as an MGA and have a variety of different partners on that front to be able to bring the products to market, but at the baseline as an MGA. Okay.
So all 50 states already. Okay. So the RV enthusiasts, the RV market. Okay. So I'm not an RV person. In fact, I don't think that I've ever actually traveled in an RV. I've been inside one, like just to check it out. The one time when I was a kid at the time, and we attempted to rent one. So I grew up in Costa Rica. We were visiting Florida. So we landed in Miami, and we have an RV reserved, and we show up to pick it up, and they don't have one. So what was supposed to be an RV vacation, and we were supposed to drive from Florida all the way to North Carolina to go skiing. And yes, I realize not as good skiing as out west, but again, I'm from Costa Rica, so like snow is snow. Yep. From my perspective at the time, especially, we ended up having a normal vacation, like a rental car and hotels instead of the RV. But I did interview during my time at Nationwide. I interviewed with their toys department for a product role. So I learned a little bit about the toy space there. So that's my background in toys. So what does the RV insurance market look like? Why did you guys decide that RV was the next play for you guys?
Yeah. So our RV insurance market is surprisingly big. So I would say almost 1 in 6 households in America own an RV. And I'd say from an insurance, it's probably a $7 billion TAM right now. I would say just purely the RV insurance market. And then as you look even broader than the RV insurance market in terms of the embedded insurance market, you're probably looking at a $700 billion TAM as a whole on that front there too. But the RV market, it's big, right? Obviously, you can imagine with COVID too, it had a very big boom and a very big spike during that, where everyone really wanted to be able to get to the outdoors as well on that front. So actually one of our, so Romley has a sister company called Outdoorsy, which Outdoorsy is a marketplace for RVs. So you can rent and list your RVs on the Outdoorsy marketplace and go out and, to your point, get into Florida. If that didn't come up, you could have gone on outdoorsy.com and been able to rent an RV right there on the spot to see what was around. Well, as you can imagine, the insurance for the RV space can be a big challenge right now. A lot of times in the personal lines policies, there is a commercial use exclusion that effectively says if you rent your vehicle out, then we don't necessarily want to cover you.
Yeah, no surprise. It's the lift thing. Yeah.
That's exactly right. So what we had to do was go out and solve that. So that's exactly what we did. We went out and solved that. We've got our policies remove the commercial use exclusion. So it affirmatively allows folks to be able to rent their vehicles on companies like Outdoorsy. And then it also provides various discounts. So utilization-based discounts. The more you rent it on a platform, the more you save. So we really try to come to market with more of an innovative product in terms of how we think about the RV space. A lot of times RVs can get bucketed into more of a higher class of business, right? And then, but as we think about RVs, how often do you see RVs that are driving on the highway in the left-hand lane that are passing everybody? You know, a lot of times you might see it a little bit different. People are really enjoying the journey as they go, and a lot of times through the experience and the data that have happened and occurred through the Outdoorsy marketplace, we've got a great line of insight in terms of the overall experience in terms of loss ratio and claims that we've been able to really create the product from the ground up as a whole too. So it's really a unique offering, removing the commercial use exclusion, offering various discounts like the what we'll call the rent and save discount. So it's based on utilization, and we are fully embedded within the Outdoorsy marketplace as well, and then have a variety of other partners too that are able to provide some of this insurance offering that we've gone out and filed in the various states.
Okay. So insurance companies have historically been product focused, right? We build the product at the ivory tower, and then you buy it or don't buy it, and you can endorse it a little bit, but especially in the personal lines market, like we're not manuscripting anything. Right? Like it took us years to get comfortable with the commercial exposure of Airbnb, with the commercial exposure of rideshare. So it sounds like you built this product in a much more modern. The company is customer focused, not product focused.
Absolutely. We always start with the customer in mind, right? Granted, it is insurance, so we always have to kind of weigh experience,
heavily regulated, and
regulations,
insurance to back you up and all that stuff. Yeah,
that's exactly right. But we are extremely customer focused, right? We want to be able to bring something to the market that users feel confident in, that they're excited about, and that is economical to them at the onset as well. So we really started with that in mind to really bring something to the market, because whenever we originally kind of started looking at this, the fact that there was a commercial use exclusion hindered a lot of folks from being able to monetize their asset and put it on the platform to be able to make some money there. So we basically sat back and says, you know what, this really doesn't exist in the market. We need to go out and try to solve this. So let's go ahead and do that. So we do the RV insurance. Imagine they book an RV that's going to go for a week and it gets canceled. Well, we'll have trip cancellation insurance as well. So that way we can offer that during that booking period too. Or let's say, for example, something on the inside of the RV gets damaged. So we'll have an interior damage offering as well that can also go along with their trip too. So we really wanted to protect the customer holistically as a whole. Let's say, for example, they get a diagnosis with COVID-19, right? The trip cancellation product could cover that as part of it all. So we really wanted to bring to market, live within kind of the current times, to sit here and say, hey, here's a comprehensive package and a comprehensive bundle for you to kind of have peace of mind about your trip as a whole.
A quick message from our sponsor. Insurance Nerds is sponsored by Talage, the API solution for quoting and binding commercial insurance. With 30 plus carrier integrations, Talage delivers instant bindable quotes across 5 product lines. Visit talageins.com/insnerds to learn more. That's talageins.com/insnerds for the only total commercial solution and the digital connection, helping you tackle the small commercial market with a simple, easy, and efficient solution. The platform is leveraged by agents, wholesalers, carriers, and technology providers. Visit talageins.com/insnerds now. And if you sign up using talageins.com/insnerds, they'll waive the setup fee. Tell them Tony sent you. Now back to our show. It makes perfect sense. So basically, RV insurance that can fit regardless of how I use my RV, regardless of whether I use it a whole bunch or it's parked at home a lot of times, and I'd rather take the coverage off of it because it's not getting used, or even if I'm renting it on to others through a platform.
That's exactly right. So you can use this really for anything. If you're never going to rent your vehicle, well, Roma Insurance has you, right? If you want to rent it 90% of the year, we can also do that as well. So what we try to do is really modernize it. So what we wanted to do was just be able to have more of a modern insurance product as a whole and deliver it in a more tech forward and friendly way. So again, as an Insurtech, you got to have that right blend of insurance and technology. I'll often say as an Insurtech, if you got the tech without the insurance, you got nothing. And same thing for the vice versa. So we have a good amount of focus on the tech too, to try to really be able to have it delivered. They do an online buying experience. They're asked a handful of questions where we're able to gather data on the back end, and they've got a very good user experience and process and flow that they can be able to purchase this online as well too. So we really do put a heavy impetus on the insurance as well as on the tech to make sure that we really have a long-term scalable, sustainable product in the market as well too. So just being able to deliver it differently. Really, the RV insurance was created by RV owners, as a whole, whereby we're living in this space each and every day. A number of the folks on the team have lived in RVs full time and traveled the country as a whole, working from their rig each and every time. So it's one of those where we understand the ins and outs of this. There's nuances whenever it comes to full-timers insurance. Those are people that are living on the road 100% of the time.
I remember at Nationwide, that's a big piece that I remember from the interview with product was the full timers. They had a hard time insuring that.
Right. So we wanted to be able to deliver the full timers in a little bit of a different way, package it up, bundle it up a little bit differently. And again, so everybody has the peace of mind on the road that they all desire. You're going out camping, you're on the open road, you're going to the different national parks. Let's just make sure that protection of your rig is the last thing that you really have to worry about. So that's really where we're at. We want to really focus on the customer, really that kind of RV focused Insurtech, your embedded insurance offering as a whole, and just being able to provide these solutions to the end customers, but then also to other businesses as well. So whether or not, let's say it's a camping platform or a platform that maybe has other RVs, well, we can kind of work in a way that will get the insurance embedded within those platforms. So that way they can have this as an offering as well.
Is it distributed only through those partners, or is it also distributed through your own website? And is there broker distribution?
So we're predominantly D2C, direct to consumer on that basis. Mm-hmm. That's kind of really where we've lived as a whole, and really kind of also through some other companies embedded distribution channel, but then also some agencies too. So some brokers too. So that's really have that kind of, let's just call it that multi-channel, omni-channel mm-hmm. distribution as a whole. And really it's just being able to get the product in the hands of the customers. So that way we can really try to take care of the customers in the most seamless fashion and the most robust way that we possibly can do.
Okay. So for brokers, are you looking to partner basically only with brokers that do a ton of this type of business, or are you pretty open that, like, if you've got a client that needs RV, where
Yeah,
you can access the product?
right. Yeah. So right now we do try to kind of have some strategic brokers as a whole, right? So the ones that actually have this business and that are focused on this business as a whole too. But what I would say in its most basic sense, that if there are brokers or agency channels that want to talk about it and can kind of share a little bit around, hey, you know what, I do see a lot of this space, then the team and myself would absolutely be open to talking with them.
Okay, fantastic. I'm really curious, when it comes to finding paper, finding reinsurance backing, etc., kind of the back end part of being an Insurtech founder. Was the second go around, and raising money, was the second go around a lot easier?
You know, you would think so, right? But at the same time, you're working we work in personal lines and commercial lines, right? And so when you get into personal lines auto, you're dealing with a totally different environment. It's a regulatory environment.
Also, the first Insurtech,
it was more commercial lines focused on the non-admitted market.
Okay. Oh, it was non-admitted. Okay. So this was such a different play that it's a different set of reinsurers that are interested in playing in this space. Okay.
Right. Concepts are all very similar, right? The business model is similar as a whole. You just have to kind of take some of those applications and just apply them to different products as a whole there too. So yeah, it's quite fun. It is a different process on the regulatory front whenever we're dealing on the personal lines basis, but we've got kind of a great panel of reinsurers. Really, we've got our own kind of really insurance product as a whole on that end. So we had to identify a variety of different partners really to be able to put it all together. But as a whole, it is new, right? Kind of coming from the first one to this one as a whole, but just again, bringing it to market, setting up the infrastructure in place, identifying your fronting partner, identifying the right broker that's going to help you out with this, identifying who your reinsurers are going to be. And I'm sure you can imagine, anytime you say RV insurance, again, the insurance industry has bucketed that into kind of a certain silo.
Toys.
Right? Toys. Yeah. So oftentimes you hear the word RV, you think big and scary, and you know what, could be a high frequency or severity on that basis. So you got to talk with the more, let's just say, forward thinking, innovative reinsurers or partners on that front that really understand the story as a whole and understand the model. And you can also illustrate the expertise, whether or not it's on the underwriting or actuarial side, of which we've really been building out that discipline internally too. So whenever you can have those partners, have some partners that identify and are able to relate to the longer term vision of what we're trying to do and change the market, it really kind of works out in a very favorable way. And then you can kind of work together as strategic partners on that basis to scale it across out more broadly.
Okay. So clearly from your description at the beginning, you guys are consistently expanding the products. So beyond RV, if you can talk about it, and again, this will come out in July, early July. So just so you can keep in mind what you're able to talk about. Are there any other products that you're able to talk about yet?
Yeah. So we're talking about RVs. I talked a little bit about some of the trip cancellation insurance. Talked a little bit about the interior damage insurance. One of the other offerings that we have is pet insurance too. It's one of those where you can imagine a lot of the entire United States and the world as a whole, whenever they go camping or they're in the outdoors, they want to have the pet with them as well. So that is something that we have there too. And there are other products that we will be adding to the product suite, whether or not it's roadside, whether or not they're extended warranty products as a whole. So those are some of the different things that will be coming out really kind of in due course too. So exciting times ahead. We always want to be able to roll out and enhance the product suite in a much in a much broader way, and just really be able to make sure that when the customers come to us, we can solve their needs with a one-stop shop. Do you need that warranty? Do you need your insurance? Do you need your roadside? Oh, well, you know what? We've got you. We can take care of you all right within Romley.
Okay, awesome. Aaron, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been interesting. An area of insurance that I don't know much about, and been great to find somebody that's doing Insurtech for the second time. It gives me great hope for our industry. Thank you very much for coming on the show. When it goes live, I will tag you, and I will tag the company on LinkedIn, and looking forward to see you guys continue to grow this.
That sounds good, Tony. I really appreciate you having me today. It was a pleasure talking with you as well. And again, thank you very much.
Anytime. Thank you.